Thanks, Matt.
To the NBA, and what a night it's going to be in the city of brotherly love. Ben Simmons returning to Philly to play for the first time since he was basically forced his way out, got traded to Brooklyn. Needless to say, his run in Philly memorable, mostly based on what didn't happen. Number 1 overall pick in 2016, was a 3-time All-Star during his time there, but he never came close to living up to his potential. Then at the end, it got ugly. We all know how Philly fans can be too, so what will tonight be like? Today, Ben Simmons spoke after shoot-around. He talked about returning. It's new on SportsCenter.
I'm so excited to play. I'm so excited to play. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. This is going to be an opportunity for me. I've never been in this situation, so, I got to appreciate it and really take it all in. We shared a lot of moments here, a lot of ups and downs. This is where I was, I became a man, I feel like. So, I've always, had a lot of respect for Philly in that way, and the fan base. It's a special fan base, but I got a lot of love for Philly.
Is it anticlimactic at all for you not to be playing against Joel or Tyrese or James or any of those guys?
I mean, the fans will make up for it, I think.
Let's bring in NBA analyst Tim Legler, and it seems like Ben Simmons, Tim, has a good sense of humor. He knows what's coming his way. I guess the good thing is that lately he's been really solid, very efficient shooting the last 2 games. So aside from the fact that it's going to be nuts when he returns to Philadelphia, what are you seeing from his game that shows you that he's maybe trending in the right direction here finally?
Well, first of all, Sage, I don't know if you buy that he's excited to be back in Philly, but I don't buy that he's that excited to be back on the court in Philadelphia. I really don't. I think he knows what he's going to face. I think it's up there with some of the all-time vitriol and hostility we've seen directed at an athlete returning to a former team. And you look at LeBron going back to Cleveland. I think Terrell Owens going back to Philly when he went to the Cowboys. That kind of reminds me of this, but I think it's on a whole nother level. But here's the good news for Ben Simmons. 2 things. First of all, he just had his best 2 games since early in the Atlanta series back in the summer of 2021. We haven't seen Ben Simmons play like this in a very long time. But what's been different to me is just him taking advantage of the scoring opportunities that are presenting themselves to him. When he avoids those and goes out of his way to make sure he's not open or he doesn't make an aggressive play to get to the rim, that's when it stands out to everybody that he's not playing like a normal, confident basketball player. But that's what he's done the last couple of games. He's gotten field goal attempts. He hasn't run from the situation on a dive or a fast break opportunity. When I saw him earlier in the year sort of hold up to make sure he wasn't going to be the recipient of the pass where he would have to shoot the ball, he didn't do that the last couple of games. I think that's a great situation for him in terms of a mental breakthrough. So to come into Philly having finally put together a couple of good games is good news. And the other part of the good news, he's not facing a healthy Sixers team. So Joel Embiid won't be there. James Harden won't be there. Maxey's banged up. So this is a different team than he was expecting to face. And I think that will bode well for him mentally, because I think the Nets have a great chance to win this game.
Yeah.
And if they get a comfortable lead, I think that will make Ben Simmons calm down and relax. If this is a tight game in the 4th quarter, I think it's going to be an issue for Ben Simmons being able to make plays down the stretch that affect the outcome in a positive way.
Yeah, just that mental toughness that he has acknowledged struggling with throughout his entire NBA career. And yeah, maybe timing is everything with all the injuries on Philly's side. Maybe that bodes well for him. How about Kyrie Irving returning from that suspension and the win over the Grizzlies Sunday? So we're finally, I guess we got to see this version of Brooklyn's Big Three together, Kyrie, KD, Simmons. Tim, what was your biggest takeaway as we head into another big test here?
Biggest thing for me was if you go back to when this Brooklyn Nets team first put everything together a couple years ago, getting Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, adding James Harden, think to yourself now, over 2+ years, how much fun have they ever looked like they're having? Very rarely. And I think what they look like now that Kyrie Irving is back from the suspension, Kevin Durant's out there, this now looks like Ben Simmons is starting to play better. It looks like a team that's loose. I feel like they've reached the mentality of enough already. Let's go play basketball. And so this is the first positive steps that they've taken with all 3 of those guys on the court at the same time, actually playing well, playing loose, playing relaxed. Now, look, we got a long way to go to see if ultimately this is going to be a good fit with Ben Simmons long term, because there are certain things you're not going to be able to do with him in the 4th quarter of games offensively. Now, the Nets haven't gotten to that point, but right now they're just happy to string a couple good games together going into this signature game against the Philadelphia 76ers. They just looked like they enjoyed themselves.
Yeah.
It also helps when you make 16 threes, which is an anomaly for that team this year. But the bottom line, they're having fun, and they're starting to find out maybe a little bit of what their potential could be, because we all know the talent is there. Can they stay on the court, and can they find chemistry? That's been the question.
And let's give some credit real quick to Jacques Vaughn, the head coach who was brought in there with the departure of Steve Nash, and they have really bought in. That certainly matters. Let's go out west real quick here, Tim. News just in that LeBron James is out tonight. 5th straight game he's missing with the groin injury. Anthony Davis has been really good, though. He's averaging 35-plus points in his last 3 games. So besides that, what has changed for this team during the winning streak?
Well, similar to what we talked about with Ben Simmons, reminding us that the talent is there. The same thing with Anthony Davis. When the guy plays, he's one of the toughest covers in the entire league with his versatility. But for me, what he has needed in the absence of LeBron is consistent secondary scoring options, and he's gotten that. Austin Reeves, Lonnie Walker have been unbelievable for both of them. Walker in particular, I mean, this is really a resurgence for his career, averaging 16 points a game. A very aggressive open floor player, very good defensive player, putting pressure on the ball. And then Austin Reeves, just with his IQ for the game and knowing where to be and the way he can move the basketball, he makes good decisions. It makes the offense flow better. So when a team that was desperately looking for where else it was going to come from night to night, with LeBron banged up, AD banged up at times, Russell Westbrook trying to find his place, everything else was in chaos. Those 2 players have solidified their starting lineup, and it's given Anthony Davis the support he's needed now to play well, despite all the traffic he's getting without LeBron on the floor.
That 3-game winning streak brought their record up to 5-10, so a long way to go when they begin tonight, a 3-game road trip against the Suns, and then they go to San Antonio for 2. Tim Legler, thank you.
Plenty more ahead on the huge NFC matchup. We'll go live to the Cowboys and Giants practice facilities here. Both teams are preparing for the Thanksgiving Day game. And is the Patriot way of winning games this season?
I think it takes time. Trying to build my consistency, stay focused, on what I can do. I know I can do. I know what I'm capable of. And I'm not surprised.
And what are your emotions heading into Tuesday's game?
Ready to play. Something going on?
Ben, this is twofold. When you say you're building, right?
Yeah.
How much of that is physical and just your body doing what you tell it to do, and how much of that is confidence and being in the right headspace?
I think it's a bit of both. Like obviously getting the reps in. I haven't had many opportunities to get the reps in, so I'm getting my reps in now, and obviously spending more time in the gym. And working on my body consistently, and just getting whatever I can do to progress and get better and be better. I want to do.
And following up on Alex's question, as an example, when Jacques was in here, he was talking about how Tuesday will be great for you, just because he says it'll be another hurdle, like when Portland was fouling you and hacking you, and you stepped up and made 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that assessment? Do you see it that way?
Yeah, obviously you guys are gonna make the titles and headlines and whatever that is, but I'm excited to go play. I haven't had the opportunity to go play there on the other side of the floor, so it'll be a great experience. And that's how I look at it every game. It's a new experience, so I'm looking forward to heading down there and getting a win.
Is there any chance in your mind that maybe enough time has passed that it won't be so bad? It'll be
in Philly? Come on now. I know what's coming. It's part of the game. Philly fans. One thing about Philly fans, they're incredible. They're diehard Philly. Everything Philly, whatever it is. I respect that about the city. It's a sports town. I was talking to Utah before the game. I think it was Utah about what it's like to play in Philly. It's an incredible opportunity to obviously put on whatever jersey it is. That's Philly. It's a unique experience.
Ben, what?
Let's play.
All right. What ways would you say you have grown since your time in Philly?
In all type of ways, Like I was 18 years old, coming into Philly, So it's really the only place I've lived as really an adult, So I have a lot of love for that city, and people don't know that, but a lot of my best friends are from Philadelphia, and my brother still lives in Philadelphia. So regardless of the situation and things, whatever happened. But you know, I got a lot of love for that city, so you know, I look forward to going down there and playing.
Ben, obviously you had the long time last season where you were out, then back surgery, then everything you were dealing with. Was there ever any point along the process where you didn't think that you'd be able to turn the corner the way you're doing now?
In terms of my play?
Yeah.
No. I mean, like for you guys, I feel like you guys, you know, not you guys, I don't know, certain people, but we'll put things out there. You know, is he ever going to get back to where he was, whatever. But for me, I take it day by day. You know, I try not to look too far ahead. I do what I can. I focus on myself and trying to get better each day. So I take it day by day. I don't look too far ahead and worry about the things.